Hey, it's Jess from But First Crochet, and today I am going to teach you how to make these adorable polka dot granny squares. So what you will need is some worsted weight yarn in 2 different colors, a color for your polka dot and then a color for your outside border. I am using an H 5.0 millimeter crochet hook. You'll need some scissors and a yarn needle. So start out by grabbing your polka dot color. Begin with a magic circle. So I drape mine over 2 fingers and make kind of like an X in the middle. Grab your hook, come underneath the first piece of yarn and over the second, and pull that up. And kind of pinching that together, let everything fall. Chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And next we're going to place 7 double crochets in the magic ring or magic circle. This chain 3 counts as our first stitch. So double crochet into the magic circle 7 more times. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, that was good. So we'll have 8 stitches in total, counting our first chain 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Tighten up your magic ring. Then you're going to join with the slip stitch at the top of the chain 3 right here. Not in the first stitch, but at the top of the chain 3, slip stitch. And that completes round 1. For round 2, you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and you're going to double crochet in the same stitch as the chain 3. Then you're going to place 2 double crochets in each of these stitches, or you're increasing in each stitch around. So yarn over into the next stitch, double crochet, then double crochet again in the same stitch, and continue that all the way around. You should have 16 stitches at the end of round 2. All right, I'm at the end of my round 2. So I have 16 stitches around. Remember, the first chain 3 does count as a stitch. And you want to pay careful attention not to place any stitches here. This is your slip stitch from the row before. So you'll want to skip that. And you're going to join with a slip stitch to the top of the chain 3 from the previous round, and that will complete round 2. To begin round 3, just like round 2, chain 3, and again double crochet in that same stitch as the chain 3. And again, you're going to place 2 double crochets in each one of these stitches around. or you're increasing in each stitch. So there's one double crochet and then another in that same stitch. Continue to increase around, and you will end this round with 32 stitches. I will meet you there. All right, I have one more stitch to go. This is my 32nd stitch going here. Now before you finish this stitch, we're gonna switch colors. So you should have 2 loops left on your hook. Go ahead and cut this yarn, leaving a little bit of a tail, and then grab your border color. For me, I'm using white. And leave a little bit of a tail here. And you're just gonna lay your new yarn right here and finish that stitch. Then you wanna tighten everything up here. So just give that tail a little pull there, and this one. And I like to hold on to these so that I can weave them in as I go. So join with the slip stitch. I'm going to stick my hook in here, but then I'm also going to lay these on top and make my slip stitch to bring this tail up with me. So join with a slip stitch. You're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And you're going to double crochet in that same stitch as your chain 3. And again, I'm going to yarn over and put my tails on my hook so I can weave my ends in as I go. You don't have to do this, but it's less work later. So this counts as my first 2 stitches. So we've increased in that first stitch. I'm going to chain 1. And then place 2 double crochets in this next stitch. And I'm still going over top of my tails to weave those in. In the next stitch, place 1 half double crochet. In the next stitch, place another half double crochet. In the next stitch, a single crochet. In the next stitch, a single crochet. In the next stitch, a half double crochet. And I think it's safe to drop these tails now, so I'm going to let them fall to the back. In the next stitch, another half double crochet. So you should have your 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets in the same, those first 2 stitches. So 2 double crochets in the same stitch, chain 1, 2 double crochets in the same stitch, then a half double, single, single, half double. This is turning our circle into a square. So we've reached the next corner. We're going to double crochet in the next stitch. You're going to place another double crochet in the same stitch. So 2 double crochets in this stitch, chain 1, and then 2 double crochets in the next stitch. Then we're just going to repeat that sequence for each side. So now we'll do our 2 half doubles, single, single, half double, 2 doubles in one stitch, followed by a chain 1, 2 doubles in the next stitch. So keep repeating that sequence, and I'll meet you at the end of the round. I've reached the end of the round, and you can see there is my slip stitch. So we're going to join the round with the slip stitch at the top of the chain 3 at the beginning of the round. So join with a slip stitch. So at the end of this round, you should have 40 stitches around and 1, 2, 3, 4 chain 1 spaces in the corner. To begin the next round, we're going to slip stitch in this first double crochet. We're slip stitching to the corner. So here's our corner with our chain 1 space, slip stitch again into that corner space. Next you're going to chain 3. Double crochet back into the corner. Chain 1. And then 2 more double crochets in this corner space. Next you're going to double crochet all the way across till you get to the next corner. But be careful because the first stitch often gets covered up by the corner here. So there should be 10 stitches across here until you get to the next corner. So you have to kind of push this back a little bit to see that first stitch. So go in there, and that's going to be 1 double crochet. Next stitch for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So if you get to this other corner and you've only done 9, more than likely you missed the first stitch over here. So you should have 10 across here plus your 4 double crochets and your chain 1 space in the corner. So we're going to repeat that again all the way around. So again, in our next corner with the chain 1 space, 2 double crochets followed by a chain 1 and 2 more double crochets in that corner space. Good. So then 10 across, 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, 10 across. Keep doing that till you reach the other end. I'll meet you there. All right, I've approached my last stitch. There's my slip stitch. There's my last stitch. Then join to the top of the chain 3 with a slip stitch. Chain 1 to fasten off. Take out your hook, and then you should end with 56 stitches and 4 chains in the spaces. So 56 stitches and 4 chains. All right, we almost made it through the video without a child's voice. Here comes a mom. Rye, say hi. She's looking for the dog. Okay, so there is our finished polka dot, and you can do whatever you want with these. I'm going to make a blanket, which I will link the pattern below. Now that you've made all of your squares, it's time to join them. So we're gonna first work on joining all of our squares in one direction, then going across, or whichever way you're turning. So we're gonna join them, and then we're gonna do the border. So start out by grabbing 2 squares and then choose a color to start the join. You'll start with a slip knot and just set that aside. First, you're going to insert your hook into your work. Starting in the bottom corners, find that chain 1 corner space, and you're going to insert your hook into the back loop of the chain 1 space on the square on the right, and then in the same position with the square on the left, like so. Grab your yarn, insert your yarn onto your hook, tighten up your slip knot. Then you're going to pull through, making a slip stitch. You're going to repeat that same process all the way to the top. Grab the back loop only of the next stitch, or the loop that's on the inside right here. Make sure you keep your yarn underneath here. Yarn over and pull through all of your loops. Again, pick up the back loop only on each side, keeping your yarn at the bottom. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. And you can see it's starting to make that seam there, that flat slip stitch join. You're going to continue picking up these back loops and slip stitching them together all the way up to this chain 1 space at the top. That's where the last join is going to go. So I will meet you and we'll do the top corner together. I'm at the top corner in that chain 1 space. I'm going to insert my hook into the back loop of the chain space on the right. And on the left, slip stitch. So this is finished. Next, you're going to grab 2 more squares. Get those in position. Keep your yarn in the center. So find that corner back loop of your chain. on the right side and on the left side. Grab your yarn, yarn over and pull through to join those together. And then repeat the same process. Grabbing those back loop only, yarn over and slip stitch. So you can make this blanket as large as you want to. The process is the same. You just keep on joining them till you reach the height that you want. This looks a little messy here, but I promise once we start seaming this direction, this will all scrunch up and tighten itself up. And I'll show you that when we move along to the joining this way. But let me finish this row and then we'll work on crossing that. So keep doing your slip stitches all the way up to the top. Ready for my last stitch in those chain spaces. Back loop only of the chain in the corner, slip stitch. And for this demo, I'm only going to work with these 4 squares. So once you've joined all of your 2s up as high as you want your blanket to be, you're going to fasten off this working yarn. So just chain 1, leave a little bit of a tail to weave in, pull out your hook. So it's joined this direction. Now we need to join everything going this direction, which is going to be exactly the same process. The only thing that's a little bit different is when you get to the cross section in the middle. So place your hook in the back loop only of the chain space in the corner. Reattach your yarn in whatever color you choose. I'm just going to keep going with my pink here because I think it pops nicely for this tutorial. So I'm going to tighten that on and pull through the 2 loops on my hook to slip stitch those together. Just going to get my tail out of the way. Ta-da! Same thing. Grab your back loop onlys, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on the hook. You might have to keep tugging this first stitch to make it lay where it should. Continue picking up the back loops and slip stitching together. Continue all the way up the seam here and I'll meet you at that cross section. Almost to the midsection here. So you want to look closely at this area. We have a slip stitch join to make right here. And then we're going to join here in the same corner space as the join going in the opposite, well not opposite, but this other direction here. So you want to grab those back loops, yarn over and pull through. And this will be the last one. And we'll end up hopping over that seam with this stitch. So grab the back loop and the back loop, but we're going to go underneath that space, underneath the chain going this way, grab your yarn and pull through all of those loops. So we're kind of right in the middle there, and then our next stitch is also going to go in these corner spaces. So here, put your hook in on the right side, then the left side, grab that working yarn and slip stitch them together. So continue working that seam all the way up to the top. Once you've reached the top, chain one and fasten off. And once you've completed all of your seaming horizontally and vertically, it's time to move on to the main border. The first round of the border is going to be a round of white, mostly single crochets, but we're going to place some double crochets in the spaces directly next to your slip stitch seam, and that's just to add height so that we have a more uniform square all the way around. So we'll begin in any corner. It's up to you. I'll just choose this corner here. Grab your white or whatever color you'd like, but ideally you want to match whatever your outside color is of your granny square. And we're going to join in the corner here. Any corner, it doesn't matter. Just going to bring this yarn through and chain one. Then place 3 single crochets in this corner space. So 1, 2, and 3. Then place a single crochet in each one of these stitches. Then stop when you get to this space right next to the slip stitch seam. Careful not to miss the first stitch here. Sometimes it gets covered up. One more stitch right here, one more single crochet. Then in the space right next to the seam, right in here, but you kind of want to grab both of those loops right there. Yarn over and make a double crochet in that space. And then same thing right here, another double crochet right in that area. Try to grab both of those loops like so, and that'll give it some height. Now continue with your single crochets to the next corner. So that makes it more of a straight line across. Then when you get to the next corner, Again, put 3 single crochets, single crochet across, putting a double crochet on each side of your seam. Repeat that all the way around, and you're going to join with a slip stitch to the first stitch of the round. I have 1 final single crochet stitch. Then I'm going to join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet of the round. Okay. And now you can fasten off this white color. Next, choose whichever color you want next for your border. I'm just grabbing this pink. Then you can choose any corner. It doesn't matter which one. I think it looks a little neater if you choose a different corner each time. It helps with the seam. So you want to find the center stitch in the corner of the cluster of 3. Just making a slip knot to join my pink. Then I'm going to chain 1. Oh, I need to move over. It's easy to get in the wrong stitch. So here's my cluster of 3. There's the first stitch, the second, and the third. So I want the center stitch. Chain 1. Now in each and every corner, you're going to place a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, all in that same corner stitch. Then chain 1, skip 1, single crochet in the next stitch. And you're going to repeat that all the way around till you reach the next corner. Chain 1, skip 1, single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet. Repeat that all the way to the next corner. All right, so now we're back in the center of the corner. You're going to single crochet, chain 1, single crochet. Continue that all the way around. I'm back to the first stitch of the round. So we're going to fasten off by joining to the first stitch with a slip stitch. Chain 1 to fasten off. Leave a tail to weave in. And that is the first linen stitch round of the border. Next, pick a different corner and grab a different color. Reached for blue and find that chain 1 corner space. So right there is one. And in the chain 1 corner spaces, I'm going to repeat exactly what we did before. We're going to single crochet, chain 1, single crochet in the chain 1 corner spaces in all 4 corners. There's a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet back in the corner space, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet in the chain 1 space from the round before. So from here on out, all of your chain 1s will be over top of the single crochet from the round before, and all of your single crochets will be in the chain 1 spaces from the round before. So repeat your chain 1, skip 1 space, single crochet in the chain 1 space from the round before, and then in each corner you're going to single crochet, chain 1, single crochet. And that is all you do for the border. You can make as many rounds as you like. Thank you so much for pressing play and watching the video today on how to make this gorgeous granny square polka dot blanket. I'm sure it will be loved and cherished by anyone. Have so much fun with these polka dots, making them different colors, different variations. You could make like a little smiley face, turn the circle into a little animal. The possibilities and the creativity are absolutely endless. If you enjoyed today's video, I would surely appreciate a like, and if you want to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing to my channel. As always, thank you so much. Happy crocheting, and we'll see you in the next video.